If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards at competitive prices, check out our web store at mtgoacademy.com/store.
What is up, everybody? Dennis from Windmill Slam here again, recording another Fate Reforged draft for the lovely people over at MTGO Academy. Now, unfortunately, as seems to be the pattern in my drafting of Fate Reforged, we've opened an absolute junk rare. So with that in mind, let's look to the uncommons, none of which are amazing. Humble Defector is actually pretty okay. There's some nice stuff you can do with it, and I always feel like I'm ahead even when I don't abuse it with the collateral damage or refocus or whatever. Mardu Woe Reaper is pretty solid. A 1-mana 2-1's never going to be bad, and there's some upside. Renowned Weaponsmith is just terrible. And then into the commons, the only really good one that jumps out at me is this Goblin Heel Cutter. And I think that's going to be the pick. This pack overall is pretty poor, to be honest. The first Enhanced Awareness in your deck is a pretty good pickup, but I'm not going to first pick it. Ethereal Ambush is solid. Hooded Assassin's fine. Jungle Hollow is Jungle Hollow. But I think Heel Cutter's better than any of the uncommons. I'm going to pick it up. That is a really, really terrible pick one, but sometimes that happens. Moving right along. Here we have Alesha's Vanguard. Alesha's Vanguard. It's probably going to be this dragon, to be honest, which is a little awkward because it doesn't tend to gel well with the Heel Cutter, although you can always use a dragon as a big finisher in an aggro deck that didn't quite get there. It could take a Whisperer of the Wilds. That's a pretty solid pick as well. Although green-red puts us only into Teamer, I suppose it puts us into 2 colors, which is more viable now than it used to be. Whereas if we're white-red, we could go Jeskai or Mardu. And I think Ward Scale Dragon is more powerful enough than the Whisper to warrant taking it here. Again, not an exciting pick. Not at all, but you could do much worse. This is probably one of the better dragons. I certainly like it better than the blue one. It's not quite as good as the red one, I don't think. And I think the black one's probably better than it as well, but dragon's a dragon. I'm not going to complain. Here, same commons, because the common print runs really do repeat a lot more on Magic Online seemingly than in paper. Here we can pick up, assuming we're sticking with these, we can pick up a Dragon Bell Monk, a Typhoid Rats, a Vanguard to push into Mardu. I don't think either of these are much better than the Dragon Bell Monk, although blue does seem to be getting cut a little bit, so maybe pushing into, maybe favoring Jeskai by taking the Monk isn't necessarily wise. I think I like the Vanguard better than the Rats. I think I like the Vanguard a little better than the Monk, but I think I like staying open more than either, and I definitely like the Monk better than either of the red cards. So these packs have just been pretty weak overall, to be honest. That is an exceptionally late Wild Slash. Wowee. And a Heel Cutter, and a Reach of Shadows, and a Sandstep Outcast. What the hell? Why weren't these spread out over the course of 4 packs? I'd love this Outcast, but I'm not passing a Wild Slash, I don't think. This card is just a beating. This is hyper efficient. This is hyper efficient. We don't have any removal yet, so I think it has to be the Slash for me. But another Heel Cutter and a Sandstep Outcast will both be amazing pickups. As would a Reach of Shadows, to be honest, but I'm not passing a Wild Slash. That is insane. There's a Crag and a Warflare are the 2 big considerations for me here. There's a Soul Summons as well, which is pretty solid. Warflare is a pretty powerful card. It's a pretty nice pickup. It's currently in the colors that we're likely to be in, it would seem. A Crag would be nice because we're not sure if we want to go Mardu or Jeskai, but we could really just stay white-red if we wanted. With that in mind, I think I might just pick up the Warflare here. I think it's more powerful than Soul Summons, and it's a more unique effect, so... Oh, that sucks. Although Ugin's Construct is pretty solid, as is the Sky Captain, as is Invocation and Runemark and Battle Rage. I've heard pretty good things about Battle Rage, to be honest. We don't have many... White-red isn't really the kind of thing you want to be doing if you want to abuse it. You want green Beefers to get the Ferocious going, but it's either the Battle Rage, maybe the Runemark, which is probably the best Runemark, but it's still a Runemark. Battle Rage, Sky Captain, Construct, or a second Warflare, which I don't think is the pick. So for me, it's down to these 2. I think I'm going to take the Sky Captain over the Construct. We're not going to be able to pick up many morphs unless we push into one of these extra colors, so staying like this seems reasonable. There's a Mind Scour Dragon. This is just soul summons. A third War Flare going by. It's a card I would be okay having 2 of, to be honest, because it's just kind of a blowout effect, but we currently don't have anything to really do with it. And I kind of want to buff our creature count a little bit. Although we could rely on picking up Horde Chiefs and maybe a Ponyback in packs 2 and 3. Maybe even a Hordling Outburst. Yeah, I think a second Warflare has a high enough upside that I'm willing to take it there. Here, Runemark, Cliffs, or Will the Naga. Will the Naga is an okay card. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's certainly fine. But I think taking the Cliffs to open us up to Jeskai is a little wiser. With that in mind, I can pick up a Refocus here. Or do I want an Enhanced Awareness? Hooded Assassin also totally playable. Which one of these do I want more? I think I'll take the Enhanced Awareness. Blue is generally quite deep in Fate Reforged. We didn't really see a lot. We could be getting cut, but I think our first 3 packs were just very weak. And then came along the Wild Slash plus Sandstep Outcast plus Goblin Heelcutter pack, so we had a famine and then a feast of good playable cards. Trying to shift my non-creatures away. None of these are amazing. The Frostwalker's okay in an aggressive tempo type deck. I think we're more likely to be in Jeskai than we are in Mardu. But we've only got 1 Jeskai card. We've got 1 Jeskai land, which is nice. I'm going to take the Vanguard in case Mardu pans out. I don't like Frostwalker very much. I'll take a second one, I guess. I don't like any of these. What's the most annoying one? Probably the Contest or the Nurturing. Take the Contest. So we're still open to pushing into Mardu. We haven't got an amazing start, but whichever way we go, we'll have a pretty reasonable basis for an okay deck, I think. Whatever, basically, I want to be in Jeskai because we got the land, and you're playable, but not good at all. Sure. Because I like the sort of blue-red tempo you can get going, but these War Flares are really good in Mardu, so I'm pretty happy to jump ship if we open a Ponyback or something. Or, obviously, if we open a Butcher of the Horde or a Zergo or something, I'm happy to jump ship into Mardu for that. We may have to devote some picks if we push into Mardu to lands, but we've got, about 10 playables in either of our pairings, so I'm not worried about not making the full 22-23. That's not going to be an issue. So I really want something that's going to push me in one of these directions here, so that I can definitively stop. Oh well, Wingmate Rock's pretty good. It doesn't push me in a direction, but whatever. Notably, Wingmate Rock, Art Lightning would have been a sweet pickup. Arc Lightning, sorry. Ride Down's pretty solid too, but it's really not passing the Wingmate Rock. That's a strong card right there. That is a good old card we got going. Doesn't really care if we're in Jeskai or Mardu. Works pretty fine in both. Whichever we end up in Jeskai or Mardu, the third color is probably going to be pretty light, I think. Ooh, a Knuckleblade, wow. Bonkin, there's the Windfruit Weapon Master. We could pick that up. Could pick up a Bloodfire Expert on Bonkin instead and stay open though. Weapon Master is pretty good. Oh. This is tough now. It's between Bonkin and Weapon Master. They're both quite good cards. I think Weapon Master is obviously better, but I don't know if it's better enough to push into Jeskai for. So I think I'm going to take the Bonkin for now. Ooh, definitely just snapping up a Horde Chief here. That's perfect for us. There's a Scarabarns there, which is worth noting. But there's nothing that's going to compete with this. We do still have the 2 War Flares. Now, here we are. Crackling Doom is a serious card. Alabaster Kieran's far from bad as well, but Crackling Doom is a pretty serious card. In this, now with Fate Reforged, it tends to just sort of be, just blow up the thing that you picked in Fate Reforged that is amazing. Blow up your bomb rare. And Domi for 2. Our deck is looking more conducive to a Mardu strategy, especially with the double War Flares. So I think I'm going to pick up the Crackling Doom and start to push in that direction. 2 War Flares makes me think I don't need this Trumpet Blast, but the War Flares are also fine with an Alabaster Kieran. Our 4-drops look heavier than they are because we can dash this stuff, so that's fine. Windscarred Crag is perfect. Nothing here amazing for our Mardu deck. I think at this point it's time to cut the Enhanced Awareness. We can keep that Cliffs in mind if we want to splash something in blue, but at this point I don't think we need to. Weapon Master there is a little bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I guess I'll take it. Remember, the Crag does play into Jeskai as well, so we're not entirely out on that, but our Mardu cards are certainly better. If I'd picked the Weapon Master earlier over the Bonkin, I think we'd be pretty firm into Jeskai now, but now it's becoming a fringe consideration. It's a little bit awkward. Oh wow, Burn Away. Burn Away and Force Away, but Burn Away is just a solid removal spell. It's a little bit awkward coming into pack 3, not being entirely sure what colors you are, but we've got a pretty solid white-red base going, so I'm not too worried, to be honest. Like, we've got 3 black cards and 2 blue cards that we're considering, so it's going to be a light splash no matter what. It's probably going to be one of these duels, whichever one, although I suppose we're running the Crag no matter what. Do I want the Monastery Flock just as a 3-drop? Probably not. This might be useful. Yeah, it's our splash is probably going to be the dual land in blue and maybe an Islander 2 tops. Here now. We wield the Efreet Weapon Master. That is noteworthy at this point. Having 2 of them is pretty solid. It's probably better than the Crackling Doom and the Vanguards. Krumar's a black card. I'll take the Grip. Probably not going to run it, although it is good on Sky Captain and especially good on the Kieran. We're really rushing back and forth between blue and black here. If we end up going black, we can run that. I'll pick up a Trumpet Blast here, but I don't think I need it. The problem is black gives us access to Ponybacks. I mean, we didn't see any there, but black gives us access to Ponybacks. And with double Warflare Trumpet Blast, the Ponybacks are an absolute house. Picking up this Mardu Horde Chief was really nice. Maybe we can hit a Hordling Outburst if we're really lucky, but I wouldn't bank on it. Also, the Efreet Weapon Masters give us a little bit of a nicer curve because they're morphs, which is relevant. Before we would have had to like dash Vanguard on turn 3, which is not a bad play, but it's a fleeting advantage at best. Hopefully we can steal some games with our Wingmate Rock. Ooh, a Ghostfire Blade. Not too many morphs, but we've got 2 in this build. And we can always pick up more if we value them a little bit higher. It's also not a crazy cost to put on other things like the Kieran or whatever. So I suppose I'll pick it up and value morphs a little higher than anything else. We do need to fill out our creatures a little bit. Although remember the Fierce Invocation. Oh, that works actually. The Fierce Invocation works with Ghostfire Blade. Probably won't end up running this Trumpet Blast. It's just not as good as Warfare because it doesn't untap and doesn't buff toughness. And 3 of these effects without anything to really abuse them probably isn't necessary. So we just want to buff our creature count now more than anything. And another card draw spell wouldn't go amiss. Hooded Hydra, but we're nowhere near green. So that's unfortunate. Chief of Scale would have been good if we got Mardu, but because our black would have been so light, it would have been difficult to get it on turn 2, so it's much less good in that case. Here it's between Feeder Resistance and this Glacial Stalker. Feeder Resistance is good protection, but none of our creatures are going to be really fragile, I don't think, and Glacial Stalker is just a super solid 3-drop that works well with our Ghostfire Blade, and we do need to pick up creatures here. Tranquil Cove as well, and that might come back. As good as Feeder Resistance is, I think I'm going to take the Stalker here, just as a rock-solid morph. Here we have Kill Shot, Rush of Battle, Wetland Sandbar, Leaping Master. It's probably Kill Shot for me. Over Leaping Master will be my second pick, I believe. Yeah. Remember, we actually have one more creature than it looks like we do. Alright, this is the same pick. So, now that we have a Kill Shot, I guess I'll take the Leaping Master now. It's a good thing to stick a Ghost Fire Blade on because you can jump it in the air. Has a late game utility. It's a solid 2-drop. We could take a Bell Strike, but I think I'd rather have the Master. Water Whirl. Sick tempo play, but it's double blue. Swift Spear, Valley Dasher, or Smite the Monstrous. Valley Dasher gets better with these War Flares. We can kind of clear the way for it maybe with our Wild Slash, that kind of thing. You can stick a Ghost Fire Blade on it. Smite the Monstrous is just hard removal, but I'm not super psyched about it. I think I'm going to take a Valley Dasher over it here. I could be talked into the Smite the Monstrous there, but I like the Valley Dasher. Winter Flame or Mystic of the Hidden Way, or River Wheel Aerialists. It's between the Aerialists and the Mystic. Mystic is so sick with Ghost Fireblade that I'm not passing it. That's my reasoning there. A Jeskai Charm is a beautiful pickup. As good as Glacial Stalker is, Jeskai Charm can be a 6/6/6 blowout. Blood from Mentor's playable, I guess. And I'll take the Erase for sieges and things. Yeah, Jeskai Charm can dome them for 4, can 2 for 1 them in response to a combat trick, and can buff your team and gain you 1,000,000 life. So I'm happy to pick that up. Don't think I need this Fierce Invocation now. We've done a good job of buffing our morph count. This Leaping Master is definitely better than the Smoldering Efreet, so I think we'll make that upgrade there. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 morphs, which is not a huge amount, but it's okay. By the time we can cast the Fierce Invocation, we can just afford to pay for this. So the Late Awaken the Baron, I don't want to set adrift, I don't think, so I'll just cut that. It's annoying. Then we could splash the Crackling Doom if we wanted, but I don't think it's worth it. I guess I'll take it. The Bloodfell Caves, that is. Blazebringer is such a terrible card. Okay, this is our deck, it would seem. Do we want to run 18 lands in this build? Maybe. It's kind of an aggressive build, and the mana's pretty okay. We've got 2 fixing lands, so we can run a decent amount of islands and still be happy. Maybe 4 of them. What would I cut if I were to cut something? Probably a Valley Dasher. Maybe this isn't a Valley Dasher deck. I can see doing that. Takes it to 14 creatures, but that's fine. Pretty nice. Blade's pretty nice. Wingmate Rock is obviously sick. Enhanced Awareness to get us back in the late game. Burn Away to kill things we really can't answer. Jeskai Charm to delay, dome him out, or buff our team. Kill Shot as just circle removal. War Flare for... 2 War Flares might not actually be worth it in this deck. I might be better off running the Valley Dasher. 14 creatures with War Flare is kind of awkward, even if this makes 2, and this technically makes 2, but I think if we've resolved a rated Wingmate Rock, I don't think we need the War Flare at that point. We've got some evasion and some first strikers, so the War Flare is pretty good with those. With the Goblin Heel Cutter, it's pretty good. It's nice with the Dragon Bell Monk as well. But I think a second one is overkill, and the Valley Dasher will do more work on average, I think. Because you can always turn 1 Ghost Fireblade, turn 2 this, turn 3 just equip it, and then they have to deal with your 4/4 at some point. Alright, I said 5 islands, or 4 or 5 islands, didn't I? For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue spells. 4 of which we can cast face down, so That's pretty nice. This gives us 8 white sources, 7 red sources, and 5 blue sources. That seems pretty good to me. Considering most of our blue stuff is either late game, like the charm and the awareness, or has mid game utility, like our morphs. So I'm pretty happy with only 5 islands. I think we'll be okay. The deck's got the power in the dragon, the wingmate rock, and the ghostfire blade. It's got some nice synergies with the ghostfire blade and the mystic of the hidden way. That's pretty good. It's got a war flare in case you get board stalled. We can just bash in with everything. It's got solid removal. Got a little bit of card draw. Yeah, I like it a lot. We can Ghostfire Blade up our Kieran or our Sky Captain to get up in the air. Same with the Dragon. Again, same with the Wingmate Rock. But if we resolve that, I think we're going to be in fantastic shape no matter what. So I'm pretty happy. Let's see how our Jeskai beats pan out. Alright. Pardon me. Alrighty, here we go for round 1. Sounds fine. It's got 2 planes and a Wingmate Rock in it. It's also got 2 3-drops. Missing our red, but that's fine. Again, keep it. Like, if we just resolve this raided, that's so difficult to beat. And I think, depending on how often it comes up, I think this is going to be one of those drafts where this is a hand with some lands and a Wingmate Rock. Can we keep it? Absolutely. I think that's going to be par for the course. Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. Whew. Doesn't get much nicer than that. Now you can play a Dragon Bell Monk. Attack with it with Jeskai Charm up. It's pretty nice. I'm going to play that over the Weapon Master, by the way. Okay. Okay. What do you got? A morph? Your own Dragon Bell Monk. Interesting. I'm just going to play the Weapon Master and say, oh, this is a pretty free attack. And I'm actually okay making this trade. I could also not make the trade if I wanted. Just dome him for 4 and kill his thing. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. And I'm okay with the trade. If he blocks, he can have it. Nope, cool. So I'm gonna cast you face down. And then I think it's gonna take an awful lot for me to not cast my Wingmate Rock next turn. Like, so there like sick Weapon Master value would have to present itself for me to not cast this thing. Just the nutsiest value of this would have to present itself. Oh, you're pretty good. Pretty awkward here, but you're pretty good. I'm gonna attack with both because we have a good Jeskai Charm set up here with +1/+1 on lifelink. Or indeed just with the Weapon Master. So I'm gonna attack with them. I was taking it, okay. In that case, we are taking to the skies, good sir. Rock it up. Good luck. Like, he does need land and hostilities here. And even then, we're not in bad shape. As it sits, he's kind of boned. We've got tricks galore in our 2 Weapon Masters and our Jeskai Charm. We've got, I think, lethal on the board. Yeah, alright, that's the end of the game. I wonder how often that's going to happen when we resolve a Wingmate Rock like that. It's just going to be Wingmate Rock? Alright, cool. Game 2. On the draw, do I want to bring out this Valley Dasher? He is worse on the draw by quite a bit. And I think I can bring in Fierce Invocation here then, I guess. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Keeps the creature count the same. And makes our deck that little bit more skewed. Ugh, can't keep that, I'm afraid. Our opponent's Snap kept, which is scary. Even though we have the turn 1 Ghostfire Blade. If we had 1 more land, I'd be much more inclined to keep this. But on a 1 lander, I can't talk myself into it. This is just a worse version of the previous hand. This hand doesn't need help, but I think it needs as much help as an average 5-card hand would. And I think, like, we're going to have to get lucky off of 5 cards anyway, so I think getting lucky here by just drawing lands is not another reasonable thing to ask of our deck on the draw. Because we've got a 2-drop if we hit a mountain, and we've got other stuff to do. Mountain off the top. Please. That's not terrible. That's fine as well. Now, if this isn't a land, I think it's going to be the end of the game for us, to be honest. What's he raiding here? A Skull Hunter? In which case, this is on the chopping block. Yeah. Bye-bye. Well, good game, kids. I knew the risks of keeping the one lander. I knew what I was signing up for. Hopefully our opponent's draw is nuts, so that he wastes all his luck on this game. We can get him in game 3. Well, this game isn't necessarily lost. We need to draw like 5 lands off the top, but if we do, depending on their colors, we have tons of sweet stuff to do. Pop something off, play a 2-drop, play a 3-drop, equip that to it, play a 4-drop, play a 6-drop. That's fine. Gas. Oh, no. Okay. I don't think we'll bring the Valley Dasher back either, to be honest, because that Disowned Ancestor blanks it pretty hard. And we saw the Elite Scale Guard 2-3 from our opponent last time. If that's the card, by the way, that's coming down now, we can just concede on the spot. Nope. Okay, that's progress, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus whatever this is. To our opponent's credit, while we kept a sketchy hand, he did go 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Oh, we just die? Yep, cool. Fortunately, I don't think we could have beaten that hand anyway, even if we had drawn our lands. Although maybe. Yeah, definitely. I don't think I'm bringing back the Valley Dasher. The Ifrit's consideration, but it's not really worth it. I think I'll keep this build. Although his deck is pretty aggressive, so maybe just having a 2-drop is more important. But this one can't really block. I mean, it can block the first you play for playing your second main. This is obviously bad against an aggressive deck. I think I'm going to keep it the way it is. And hopefully our draws pan out a little better. Like, I knew it was pretty sketchy keeping the one lander, but our opponent's draw was pretty insane anyway. And I don't think, even if we had our hand from the first game, I don't think we could have beaten it. His deck seems nuts. It's just a super tight Black-White Warriors deck, which is very scary. Won't lie. I think we can beat it, though. I think we can. Because we dilly-dallied so long, we don't really have very many sideboard options, unfortunately. Like, if those Alesh's Vanguards had been slightly more defensive black, or slightly more defensive white or red creatures, or even blue creatures, we might have been able to set ourselves up better against our opponent. But because we had to decide to keep ourselves open for so long, there wasn't much we could do. Yeah, his deck's pretty insane. You'll notice no one else is, oh, sorry, one pair just finished a game. We're going on to game 3 after 8 minutes. I mean, we wrecked him. We killed him on turn 5. He killed us on turn 5. So what do you want? So now we know his deck is much more aggressive than initially thought. So we need to consider the hands we keep accordingly. It's worth noting we're on the play this time, which is very nice. I think it's going to be a huge deal in this matchup. Seems to be a huge deal in Khan's block altogether, to be honest. Good hand, please. Two lander, 2 colors. If we hit a bunch of lands, we can cast Wingmate Rock. If we hit a red source, we can cast this. We can morph this otherwise. But I really don't want a mulligan. Like, this hand isn't good. It is in fact bad. There are many blank draws to be had. We do have a fair few red sources. The blue is our splash, so getting the red wouldn't be too big a problem. And if we can do that, we have the Wild Slash and the Jeskai Charm to buy time. Any land lets us at least make a board presence. I think I'm going to keep it. Oh, it's so loose. It's so loose. But I think it has high enough potential that it's better than our average 6. That might be stupid of me. In fact, it probably just straight up was, but no one drop. God damn it. Okay, well. Please. One time, deck. One time. Oh. No. No, our deck is sweet. Why is this happening to me? Because I'm keeping bad hands, that's why, but... Alright, progress. Progress. I think I'm probably just going to kill shot here. Did I ever find out what those revealed morphs were? Ruthless Ripper. Okay. Yeah, I think kill shotting here is probably just okay. Kill shot the morph. If it's a Ruth, that's kind of annoying because he just flips it and drains us for 2 instead. But if it's something else, I'll be pretty happy I did it, I think. Oh, curious. Zap. Field resistance. Flip a Ruth. It is a Ruth. Okay. And he's got a Skull Hunter coming in at us, which will be making us ditch our Heel Cutter. I don't think this is a Heel Cutter type of game. Okay. Okay. Now we just need an untapped land and we can Wingmate Rock, and that'll pull us right back into the game. Although that is assuming he doesn't kill our morph, because an unrated Wingmate Rock is significantly less good. Although if we hit a red land, specifically a mountain, we can Wild Slash or Jeskai Charm to buy time. Jeskai Charm's pretty good if you grip tide the Disowned Ancestor, because he's invested mana and time into it, and you get to undo all of that and blank his next draw with an 0-4. Then maybe we can get our Ward Scale Dragon down. Ward Scale Dragon blanks. That doesn't do very much, it's just a 2-2 for now. Unless you have a Harsh Sustenance, that's grim. Alright. Okay. Alright, we'll try another one. Still need a land. But if we do get the 2/3/4s from the Wingmate Rocks... Ah, stop it. That's actually alright. What are we taking here? 1 million? Yeah. Come on. Land. Yeah, go away. Okay. Now we're dead to Russia Battle, obviously. But if that's the last card in his hand, then he's got us. Next turn's probably going to be attack with everything Jeskai Charm to gain a ton of life back. We gain 3 off of just attacking from the Wingmate Rock, right? You get 1 for each attacking creature. Yeah. And we'll gain an additional chunk. We can also flip up our Weapon Master. It's only a 3/2, but 3/2 first strike still beats everything on his board except for the Ancestor. The fact that he's pausing this long makes me think he doesn't have Rush of Battle. And if he doesn't have Rush of Battle, I think we can recover. Because the Jeskai Charm gains us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 life, back up to 19. And hits him for 8 in the air. So that's pretty solid. If we draw a land in the next 2 turns, we can follow that up with a Ward Scale Dragon, which blanks all Sand Blasts and kill shots, like I mentioned. Ah, Christ. Okay. We're dead to Harsh Sustenance too. Awkward. Now what do we do? Thanks, AVG. Probably just leave up the Jeskai Charm, I guess. For the +1/+1 on lifelink. I'm also ready to Jeskai Charm in response to a Harsh Sustenance. That's perfect, that's fine. Okay. It's a nice draw. You can gain 6, 7, 8 life here. Takes 10, we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If this is a 5/5 or something, it'll kill us. Oh no, we'll go to 11. I think I'm gonna pass with the charm up. Don't think I'm ready to start attacking him yet. Okay, he's not ready to come at us either, that's fine. Good. The reason I attack with that is because this can still block this with the charm. Although charming this onto the top of his library is still pretty good, I think. Is that what I want to do here? Charm that away? Possibly. But the lifelink would be so nice. The lifelink would make that just not matter. Like it attacks for 5, but we're getting 1,000,000 here. Yeah, I'm not going to do it yet. Or your beautiful draw. Yeah, okay, now we're coming in. Now we're coming in with the lifelink and casting this afterwards. That's such a nice padding of life. Look at this. Ugh, beautiful. Beautiful. Get the Horde Chief down, buff out our ground force. Like, obviously the Horde Chief would have been better with the Jeskai Charm later, but I think I really needed to get that hit in there. Because 15 is just so safe. So much safer. And now we can cast the Ward Scale Dragon too. Leaping Master as well. It's beautiful. I'm just going to cast Leaping Master actually, because Leaping Master plus Bird Token is lethal next turn. So he's obviously blanking on removal, so his only real out would be, although his out would be Crux of Fate or End Hostilities to blow everything up, and then we could recover with this. But this means he wouldn't be able to use Sandblast or Killshot on us, which are both in his colors and are both common, and we can recover with this just as easily. So I'm just gonna play the dragon and blank those 2 common cards rather than slightly playing around those 2 rare cards. What do you got? You're bonking. Okay, cool. Now, Rush of Battle would still be pretty good for him, but he didn't have it. Would have been good for him because of the life gain. That was so sketchy. But thankfully managed to get there in the end, and hopefully I'll be a little less reckless with what hands I keep in the next round. See you there. Alrighty, round 2. Pretty solid hand. A little awkward playing this on turn 3 with no raid, but we have a couple draws that would allow us to do that, so I'm going to keep that. All 3 colors. Can't complain. This is a sick combo if we can make it happen, but depending on what we draw, I will happily just play this on turn 3 as a 2-3 if we have nothing else to do. Oh, pardon. Okay. Okay, that is a terrible card. Oh, beautiful. Alright, we'll do that then. We'll delay our curving out briefly to get the trigger off this. Morph? Map the waste with no bolster creature. What is going on? How did this guy win the first round? What happened? I bet this is going to turn out this is some crazy famous Magic player now that I've said that. Okay. Everything's going according to plan. The dream draw is obviously Wingmate Rock. Although even with this setup, we can probably trounce him with this War Flare. Depending on what we draw, we might consider what he plays. We might consider War Flaring, but I'm more likely to just Alabaster Cairn. He's cycling the archive. That's fine. He's got nothing else to do. That's very strange. Could cast and equip the Ghostfire Blade. Play around a Wrath a little bit by doing that. I think that's the easiest way he gets back in this game. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. I mean, this guy will always be a good attacker. Although I'm going to put on the flying guy actually. I mean, this way we get in for 7. And we don't commit anything additional to the board because we don't need to at this point, I think. Like I said, he's in white and black. So Crux of Fate and End Hostilities are both considerations. But our opponent's just not doing anything. Is this lethal? If I do this, 6, 7, it's 13. This is lethal if this works, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, he's got a kill shot or something. Smite. Okay. Still a pretty solid hit. Okay. Oh my. Yeah, let's just close the door on this, I think. I would say, oh, I don't want to show Wingmate Rock, but that card is not exactly something you can play around. And this puts 2 lethal evasive threats on the board, so I'm just going to cast it. Like, Wingmate Rock is so difficult to play around. I mean, it doesn't even die to the Smite the Monsters that he showed us. And this secures our victory, where he could feasibly come back if he like attacks, plays a Mardu Horde Chief, and blows up Art of the Cure, and I would have played instead. So, although with this on the board, it's pretty difficult for him to come back no matter what. But I don't like. I think it's best to just play the Wingmate Rock here. End hostilities. Doomblast. He's in Doomblast colors as well. I forgot about that. No concession. Okay. So far, every time we cast Wingmate Rock, we win. I think that's pretty reasonable. On the draw again, gonna do this. Although his deck doesn't seem to do very much at all, so maybe I will keep it in. Yeah. His deck seems very controlling, so the Valley Lasher will probably be able to get in a couple points of damage. That's keepable. That seems like a silly thing to say, but he didn't really play any early creatures in that game. He could have just drawn the wrong half of his deck, but he kept his 7, I think, so. I believe he kept his 7. I don't actually remember. It's not crazy relevant now, but... Oh, he kept 6, sorry. Alright, what do you have? I have all 3 colors off basics, and 2-drop and a 3-drop is an insane opener, by the way, just as an aside. We'll cast that eventually. Might be reasonable to outlast next turn, especially if he plays obviously a Tuskar captain, but Grizzly, I'm going to outlast against that as well, actually. And then drop my Cliffs this turn. I was about to say Alpine Grizzly is a very aggressive card, but it's actually a fantastic blocker. It's a 3-drop that I'll trade for, you know, some 6-drops. And a lot of 5-drops. Is he going to bash me? Yeah, it's fine. And have nothing again. This guy really is not one for the follow-up plays, is he? I'm going to cast the Monk here and pass, I think. I don't want to race him like this, so... Next turn we can attack with the Monk with a enhanced awareness up. What's this? Their Rev maybe? Hunt the Weak, okay. It's not amazing. Weapon Master, that's a good draw. I think this turn I'm just going to pass an enhanced awareness on his turn. So we can just cast the Weapon Master next turn. And Weapon Master and this currently both blank this, so just casting it seems fine. Plus we can get to ditch a land here and keep our juices flowing with the enhanced awareness. Alright, I'll bite. Show me your Awaken the Bear or whatever. That's fine by me. Alright, yeah, I mean it's a big hit, but that's fine. Doesn't advance his position at all, and we can just play the Weapon Master to blanket. What else do you have? Alright, I don't care about that. Bye bye Mountain. Hello, 3 fresh cards. Oh, that's nice. Slash isn't amazing because he's already got a counter on this thing. It kind of sucks, but. Six mana. Safest play is probably still just hard cast the Weapon Master, unfortunately. Because it has first strike. Making a 4-4 with the Ghostfire Blade isn't amazing against this thing, so. Whereas a 4-3 first strike gets the job done. Now it's fragile. 4-3 is pretty fragile. And it's vulnerable to that Smite the Monsters. Doomblast? No, just a 6-5. Okay, I don't care about that. Wild Slash with my Weapon Master beats that. So if I morph, I can cast and equip Ghostfire Blade and still have Wild Slash up. That seems pretty good. Ugh. Makes a big 5/5. Block. Let first strike damage resolve. Then slash it. Cool. What's your last big card? Hootie and the Mandrills. Okay, not worried about that. Heel cutter, pretty nice. You become a 6/7, so a double block would mean a loss. But I've blanked all of his stuff here. Just going to pass and flip that up, I think. He's out of cards in hand. We've got him pretty locked down. And if I can flip my guy up into a 6/7, he's got no attacks. That's pretty annoying. He can grow that pretty big. Oh, I've tapped for that by accident. It's no big deal. Oh, you're beautiful. You are just a delicious draw, my friend. So go. It's too slow, my buddy. Far too slow. What I think I do is I think I equip here, hit him for 6, equip it back. That costs 6 mana. And I can still cast my heel cutter then. It's pretty insane. As good as our blocks are, we are on 11 and our opponent's building up a pretty serious force here. Three hits with this will now kill him. We have a million good draws, including Wingmate Rock and Jeskai Charm. Another Fruit Weapon Master wouldn't go amiss either. Warflare is pretty sick too. I think I'm going to come in with a Warflare here. With everybody. They're all trades at the very least. Most of them are eats. I think I want to put this on here if I'm going to do that. Because I can still move this around afterwards as well. Yeah, because the Warfare will give this guy 6 toughness. So. Gripping Chill or something? It doesn't do very much. There's a blue floating around there for some reason. Oh no. That's annoying. Still gonna go for this though, I think. It's too good of an attack not to. He might just take it because it's 13. But if he does that, the Warflare will kill him. Okay. It's going to eat him. We're going to eat that with the Warflare. We're already eating that. Oh, we're going to eat both of them? No, we won't. Unfortunate, but I'll take it. This thing has 4 damage marked on it, so I can't move the Ghost Fireblade or it'll die. So I have to just say go here. God, our opponent drawing endless gas. Well, Winglet Rock off the top. Is that so much to ask for? Or Jeskai Charm. Also fine. Alabaster Carrion wouldn't be bad either. Just non-land permanents really. We just cast our 10th land on turn 10 the other turn, so. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Targeting. Yeah, it really sucks. Ouch. Yeah. Is he coming in with it? I mean, we have to throw this away now. Yeah, that sucks. Guess I'll throw it away on this. Gas, please. Yeah, I mean, technically. We're dead to removal, but I think we're going to be dead to removal basically no matter what. I just want that Jeskai Charm so bad. Please tell me you blanked for once. Although, to be fair, he's got, 8 lands out as well, so he's not exactly far behind us. Thank God. Oh, beautiful. You'll get 4 or 5. So I give you 6 toughness, so I'll put this on here. This way, if he lets either of them through, it's lethal. So that's pretty good. Alternatively, I could just gain 10 life. We'll see how it goes. You gotta block him, you gotta do something. Okay. Okay. Do I just go for the kill? He has to have a counter spell. If I assume the card in his hand is blank, and I just Jeskai Charm that to the top of his deck, we kill him next turn anyway, and he doesn't get an additional draw step. However, if the card in his hand is a creature, we don't kill him next turn, but he'll have probably bad blocks. If it's a creature, we would have played it, so it's not a creature. There would have been no reason to not play it. It's not a combat trick, because we'd have used that to eat one of our guys. I don't think it's a removal spell either. So I think it's just a blank. I think we can just go for it. I mean, I could have done it on his upkeep, but he's got enough mana that he can just cast anything he wants anyway. Oh, whew, got there. All right, moving on to the finals. Hopefully we can take it down. Final round. We would love to play first, thank you. 2-lander with some 3-drops. Many 3-drops. Hand is not amazing. Even if we hit our lands, it's not very powerful, I don't think, so. Shipping that one away. Much better. Still not great, to be honest, but certainly better. Nice little aggressive start. Go turn 2 this, turn 3 this, or even turn 3 equip it, make it a 4/3 depending on what our opponent does. Turn 1 Ghost Fireblade is always a stellar start, so I think we can stick with this. This hand gets a lot better if we draw lands, because we make a 4/4 evasive flyer, we can clear blockers out of the way, and even if we don't draw lands, we have something to do. So I like it much more than our previous one. Beautiful, beautiful draw. Just absolutely picturesque draw. If our opponent doesn't do anything, I will probably just equip the Ghostfire Blade. If they do cast a creature, I'll probably rush the Heel Cutter. I'm going to cast the Ghostfire Blade. I'm going to equip the Blade here. Oh, he's really good with the Blade, though. Let's get this guy in. And morph our Mystica the hidden way. That way, if we draw a land, we can equip and rush our Heel Cutter for tons and tons of damage. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's probably a land. Grim Contest, similar. That life gain land is awkward because it reduces this from a 4-turn clock to a 5-turn clock, but maybe we're going to have the Heel Cutter at some point, so. Morph, some other good 3-drop. Morph, land at the top, please. Beautiful. Check me out. Let's attack for 7. It seems pretty good. Probably just do that again next turn, depending on what he does. Could see casting the Sky Captain instead. Oh, the Smite the Monsters, that's really annoying, not gonna lie. So now we do just cast the Sky Captain. Let's see where it goes from there. Or we could just do that. And equip it. It's also pretty good. In green, white, black, this is a pretty safe block on the morph, actually. I'm assuming the red's a splash. Even if it isn't, the only thing that could, the worst case scenario would be Canyon Lurkers, I suppose. But our 4/4 will trade for an Abzan Guide, and I think I'm okay with that. Okay, he's got a light form, which you can't cast yet. He's just going to try and race us. It's pretty reasonable. Okay. Okay. Could dash my guy, make the Hayblade unable to block. Then he just trades it for the Highland game. I think I'm just going to cast the Sky Captain and probably say go, unfortunately. We will snap trade the Sky Captain. We have a burn away for that Hateblade as well, so. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. It's not enough damage if we draw a land for a burn away. We did not draw a land for a burn away. Which is more than a little bit awkward. In this case, probably just cast the Heel Cutter. I mean, this situation puts him off both black and red with the Hateblade. That's because we want to hold on to our 6/6. Possibly soon to be 8/9 or whatever. It's a free attack on the Spirit, that's fine. In black and green, the Delve could be relevant. Yeah, I think the red's a splash because Grim Contest is not a card I would traditionally think is worth splashing. Don't really care about that. Ugh, I do care about that, unfortunately. Could just fling my Valley Dasher into this board. It's gonna get worse from here, so I suppose I will do that. Don't particularly want to throw away my heel cutter, but I could trade it for this. It's not the end of the world. I also don't think his situation is going to improve. The heel cutters, I mean. So, gonna make the Highland game unable to block. Yeah, that's to be expected. All we need is a land or a wild slash or something along those lines just to get rid of this thing. Otherwise, this thing's a nice racer, but if we hit a plains, eventually we can blank it in the air, hopefully. Although he could manifest it up here into a Woolly Lockstone or something. He didn't, so that's nice, but that'd be an absolute nightmare. Flare is pretty annoying too. Windmill Rock is a mighty tease. Bye-bye Valley Dasher as well. Although I suppose I should have equipped up the Valley Dasher. That was really stupid, Dennis. Alright, that's fine. He didn't go to eat it. That's okay. Oh, that was stupid though. I should have definitely equipped up the Valley Dasher. Because I can even equip it back on the morph because it only costs 1. Yeah, that was a punt. Question now is becoming, if I draw plains, do I attack with my guy just to get the Wingmate Rock down? Didn't draw plains, so I'm going to attack with the Burn Away. Burn away this thing. See, we don't even win that race anymore, I don't think. Or just burn away this? No. No, we don't win this race, because look, he attacks back for 6. So I suppose I do burn away the light form. As much as it pains me, I do have to burn away the light form. I'll do it on his upkeep, obviously. He's still pecking away at us with the Spirit, but I think we'll be able to draw a Plains by then. Considering Plains are our most bountiful source, or white is our most bountiful source. Oh no, not the Feeder Resistance, come on. Oh, not even Quiff. That doesn't actually change his clock. No, it does. It does. Oh, that's frustrating. Still, these are all still good. We just need that Plains. We need that Plainsy Plains. At this point I'm going to be... Oh, come on! At this point I'll be playing the Dragon. But I don't think it's going to matter for much longer. Yeah, I'll be playing the Dragon so that I can attack with it and then following turn and then raid out the Wingmate Rock. I don't want to throw away my morph, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Still got 3 cards in hand. God, not having that Plains is really killing us here. I actually have to block this. And then I don't think I can win after that. So I suppose I don't block it then. Yeah, I can't win from this point. No. God damn it. Well, you know, to be honest, we needed to draw that a good 2 turns ago to have a real shot. What was this thing? Oh, it doesn't really matter if it was a creature, I would have flipped it up, but I suppose I could know if it's some sort of instant or something. It was a Map the Wastes. Okay. Still on the place, I'm going to keep everything the same. Still don't want to splash this Crackling Doom, I don't think, so I think we're okay. Erase makes the thing lose flying. That might be worth bringing over the Valley Dasher. Makes the guy lose flying and lifelink. Knocks it out of the air into a normal 2-2. You can get a blowout and eat it pretty easily. That might be worthwhile. It's only 1 card for 1 thing, and it's not even like it straight up deals with it. Still keeps the 2-2. It's probably not worth it. Frustratingly, that was a pretty sick start, which just didn't really pan out. Ugh, only Plains, that's not happening. Ugh, 1 land, and that's not happening. I think this might be all she wrote, kids. He's kept 7. I mean, that's okay as far as 5 card hands go. This is going to buy us some time, and another planes will let this buy us some time. But we're now starting off in the terrible position where you need to draw both lands and spells. Wingmate Rock is not what I'm looking for, but if we do manage to survive, that's certainly something we'd be happy to cast. No 2-drop, please. Ugh. Ugh. I'll hold out because I can get a morph with this. So. Okay, that's a thing. Our deck is so sweet. I think it's going to lose in the finals here. The previous game was just one of those games where, I mean, we didn't draw our second white source, which sucks, but it's one of those games where your opponent just has an answer for everything you do. And they just outpace you at every single turn. What do you got? Is it a morph? Please be a morph. Even better. Thank God. Thank you, Jeskai Charm. You just saved my bacon. Oh, that's terrible. If we had planes into creature into other planes, I suppose creature into planes would be better. Like if we had Jeskai, if we had the Weapon Master, that'd be unbelievable because we get to morph it and equip it, and then if we draw planes, we're in great shape. That's a start. Jeskai Charm is going to buy us some time, possibly. There's no card draw on this charm, unfortunately, so. But we can bounce or grip tide one of his guys, which is likely to be the play quite soon. It's probably going to be the morph. Not probably going to be this because you can't cast that and so yeah. Okay. The morph presents more damage though. Plus we'll get to find out what it is. Okay. Got a Hate Blade in his hand too. So now we need a creature. And then we need, because I need to raid this. Ugh. How greedy is it to not play my Wingmate Rock here? Like the second one would make this game so good for us. And I don't know if one Wingmate Rock is going to do that for us. Like a 3/4 flyer does block everything he does pretty well. And it's 2 turns before I'm going to be able to do something unless it has haste. So I think I do just have to cast it here. The saddest of Wingmate Rocks, but that's fortunately still a pretty good card. I mean, we mulligan to 5. What do you want? Okay. It's a Watcher of the Roost again, presumably. Gas. It's alright. We can dash it and equip it. Make this thing unable to block. Gain some life. That actually seems okay. The reason I equip it is because it makes it harder to trade it. We have to trade. We can trade it for the Flare if he wants. Plus we gain 2 life, which is far from insignificant. Putting on the Hate Blade so we can't trade that for it. He has to trade either the Flare or the 2 face down guys. No, he's just taken 8. Alright, it's pretty aggressive of you. But if he has a rush of battle or something, that's pretty reasonable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rush of battle would kill us if he has it. Doesn't have it. He could have War Flare, that would also kill us. This seems like a War Flare-ish attack. Okay. Attacking last turn was actually just really bad, wasn't it? It has left us essentially dead here. Essentially dead, not actually dead. Dead to removal, dead to a trick. So we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Well, that's all she wrote, kids. Mulligan to 5. Didn't need to attack last turn, but that was pretty stupid. That probably opened up the win. Although we got the... yeah, I just shouldn't have attacked. Yeah, that was a mistake. I didn't think it through. That he could just kill us over the course of 2 turns. Although he could have done that over the course of more turns, to be honest. If he just kept bashing in, I could only block one thing with my Wingmate Rock. Could never block the Hate Blade. I could never really attack back. If I put the Ghost Fire Blade on anything, it would have just blown it up, and I probably would have been inclined to do that to try be able to take down the Flayer. So I think even if I hadn't attacked, I think we're losing that game in the long run. Obviously, it depends on what's on top of our deck, but the best card to draw would have been Jeskai Charm for the life gain. We've already ditched that. So in any case, thanks for watching. I've been Dennis. You can check me and my friend Ushanet on youtube.com/windmillslammtg, or just Google Windmill Slam if you like. There's probably a link down in the description too. We post videos there every week, and we post them every second week here on MTGO Academy for your enjoyment. If you didn't absolutely hate me, please go and subscribe and all that jazz. And I'll see you next time as Magic Online seizes up, keels over, and dies in the background.